Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me here for WLBT Plus. My name is Kara Shirley, and I am your digital news desk host. We're going to take you real quick to Louisiana, where the Tangipahoa DA Scott Perillo is talking right now. This is courtesy of one of our sister stations, KNOE out of Monroe, and he is there talking about the grand jury that convened this morning regarding the murder that took place there from Daniel Callahan. So we're going to go to that real quick, let you hear a little bit of it. We're not going to be able to play all of it, but I do want you guys to hear some of what is happening there. So here we go.
Jackson, Mississippi, maybe being committed there when it comes to the young girl. Does that play any role in what happened today?
Well, it all plays a role. If I understand you, it all plays a role. I mean, those are a lot of the facts that have been reported by the media. I won't dispute them. So yeah, it played a role. I'm not sure if I'm answering your question.
Did you watch his confession?
I did not.
Are you? Do you expect this case to go to trial, or are you hoping, for the sake of the community and the family, that they plead guilty?
I'm sorry. What?
That they plead guilty.
That's not my decision. Your question is, what I hope he would?
Yes.
Well, it would be a lot easier if all people charged with a crime would plead guilty. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah, if he would, but not. That doesn't happen very often, in my experience.
We had a question from the viewer. Could Tangipahoa afford a first-degree murder trial, meaning that it's a very expensive proposition and it's hard. It's hard to do a death penalty case, and you haven't done it in a while.
Yes, I mean that comes under not really my problem, but I'm not insensitive to it. But that is not a reason to. I would suggest not a reason to pursue it as a capital case if that's the decision made.
We could do it.
So again, this is a press conference that is happening over in Louisiana regarding the grand jury convening for the murder charges, or the murder charges for Daniel Callahan. He has been charged with murder for Callie Burnett. She was the mother of Aaron Burnett, who was killed here in Jackson. Let me take it back so you guys can hear the gentleman that is talking now.
Kidnapping of a child obviously carries a mandatory life sentence. In regards to the second-degree kidnapping, one of those elements is when a victim is physically or sexually abused. We do not feel like we have jurisdiction over some of the events that happen in Mississippi, but we do feel like this allows us to at least bring that in as an element to the charges that we have here. And so that is the strategy that we have taken in regards to that charge.
In Mississippi, obviously, they're both charged with sexual battery. Do we have any reason to believe that there was sexual battery here in Louisiana?
As prosecutors, we're very limited on what kind of statements we can make pre-trial in regards to the facts of the case. I would have to defer that to the trial on the merits.
Scott, when's the last time you prosecuted a capital murder case here
In Tangipahoa, I don't recall. In the district, so far as our office, I would think the last one that went through indictment and all the way through trial was State versus Gerald Bordelon, is my recollection. And that was in 2008, 2009. I don't recall. It's been a while. Quite frankly, it's been a while.
Anything else?
I'm good. I'm
All right.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Again, so this was the district attorney over in Louisiana in Tangipahoa Parish. The DA's name is Scott Perillo, and we were watching this live stream from our sister station in Monroe, KNOE over there in Monroe. We will have more on exactly what the grand jury found because they did convene this morning for the charges against Daniel Callahan. He is still here in jail in Mississippi. I did catch one part before we went on air here where he was saying, the DA was saying that he does hope that they are able to try Daniel in Louisiana first. Of course, that is something that is going to have to be worked out. But if you tune in tonight to WLBT's newscast, either here on our website or through our app or on TV, you'll be able to hear more. And of course, if you download the WLBT news app, you will get notifications when we put out more information on this. But again, apologize, I'm just getting this information. So the grand jury did meet over in Louisiana in Tangipahoa Parish. And according to what the DA, Scott Perlow, was just saying, it has been many, many years since they have tried a capital murder case in that area, in that his jurisdiction. And someone even asked there, does the county have enough money to try a capital murder case? And he basically said, that's not my concern. He said that if that's what it takes, is that what he needs, then he's going to move forward with that. Again, we caught the tail end of it here, but if you tune in tonight or download the WLBT news app, you will get that notification when we get more information updated, and we will let you know about it. Of course, you may know already, but the funeral for Callie Burnett and Erin Burnett, her 4-year-old daughter who passed away, is happening today. It actually started at 1:00 today. So investigators say that he did murder the mother in Tangipahoa Parish and then kidnapped her 2 daughters and drove them over here, where he is accused of killing one of the girls. The other daughter did survive. And we're going to play you a video now of some of the people from that area and what their thoughts are on what has happened and what should happen going forward with Daniel Callahan.
You should get the death penalty. That's what I think.
I just love her, and I don't know how this poor child is, a lot of prayers for her.
A lot of prayers for the family, for the child that was left behind, the 6-year-old. We do know, according to Chief Wade, that the family came here and to get custody of the 6-year-old. But our thoughts and our prayers are definitely with the family of Callie Burnett and Erin Burnett today, especially as they lay them to rest there in Tangipahoa Parish. Also, coming out of Yazoo County, there is a man wanted. According to the Yazoo County Sheriff's Office Facebook page, they're looking for a man who they consider to be armed and dangerous. So his name is William Elijah LZ. You can see him here on your screen. According to the Facebook post made by the sheriff's office over there in Yazoo County, he is wanted for several charges. He's approximately 5'8", weighing 140 pounds, and he is considered to be armed and dangerous. He was last seen at Clubview Apartments on June 19th around 10:45 p.m. And if you have any information on his whereabouts, you are asked to call 662-748-0014. or 662-746-5611 with any information. He is not advised to approach him because he is considered armed and dangerous. But if you have any information, please contact the Yazoo County Sheriff's Department. I see you guys joining me here on Facebook. I do appreciate you joining in. If you have any comments or questions or any of the stories that we have today for you, feel free to leave them there. You can also find us on YouTube and, of course, always on the WLBT app or website. Other news that we have coming here out of Jackson that happened yesterday, a man was shot on Highway 80. He was shot on Highway 80 on Tuesday night. We got the information on it yesterday afternoon. So police say that 4 men approached and attacked the victim with a baseball bat and robbed him of money. They say this happened around 10:30 Tuesday night near on Highway 80 near Galatian Street. And I'm going to pull this up for you guys so you can see it. Right here, the red dot is the intersection that they were mentioning where this happened, the shooting happened. And if we pull the camera out, you can see it is just south of downtown Jackson here. So that is where the incident happened. They say that the man was able to run away from the suspects. That after he stopped running, he realized that he had been shot multiple times. He then went to the Billy Brumfield shelter on Galatian Street to call 911. Thankfully, his injuries are not life-threatening. But if you do have any information on the shooting, the 4 suspects that they're looking for, they are asking that you please contact Jackson Police Department with that information. Jackie Davidson here says prayers for the family, for the Burnett family. Yes, very, very much prayers for them. It's a horrific situation. You say the word sad or horrible, and none of it just seems like enough for what happened to this family. So our thoughts and prayers are definitely with them. And Jackie also said that they deserve the death penalty and nothing else. If you have any thoughts on it, you feel free to leave your comments, and we are definitely watching them here. Moving to some extremely sad news. Again, the word sad, because you really have no words for what has happened. Over in Lauderdale County, a mother has been charged with murder, the murder of her 2-year-old son. So the mother's name is Adrienne McDivitt, and you can see her here on your screen. She was booked Wednesday morning on a charge of murder for the death of her 2-year-old son, Kelly McDivitt Jr., and her bond was set at $500,000. So during a press conference that was held by the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department, Sheriff Ward Calhoun stated that it's the department's belief that the child was forcibly drowned. Coroner Stella McMahon from Lauderdale County is going to be doing an autopsy. According to the sheriff, the department received a call concerning a disturbance Tuesday evening on Bolin Long Creek Road. That's where deputies found the child unresponsive. Calhoun says that the mother is currently being treated at a local hospital, but she is also in custody of the sheriff's department. And he also went on to talk about how this incident is taking a toll on the sheriff's team, and he would like the community to not only keep the family here in their prayers, but also his department.
This is certainly a tragic event for this family and for our community. And I would ask the citizens of our community who are faithful, praying people to pray for this family. And for our department, it is a difficult job for these men and women to do. And but they have done that job professionally, and we will treat this case like we do every other case, where it will be thoroughly investigated and then presented to a grand jury for their consideration when that is appropriate.
Now, at this time, there is no motive that is being put forward for why the mother allegedly did this to her child. It's kind of hard watching the sheriff get choked up over that, especially I know Sheriff Calhoun over there personally, and I know what a strong, stoic person he can be, and to see him get choked up is really hard to watch. You know that the department over there having to see that and go through that, much like the police department here in Jackson having to go through and see what they did with Aaron Barnett. It's wow. So keep your prayers, or the people of Lauderdale County, this family, the sheriff's department over there, the first responders, keep them in your thoughts, as well as the Burnett family as they put their more children to rest that have been killed. And it's hard not to get emotional when you see things like this. Rachel Marie here says here on Facebook that she needs to rot under the jail. Well, at this time, uh, she is innocent until proven guilty. That is the way our justice system is supposed to work. And this is all alleged. We don't know exactly if that did actually happen. There will be the investigation that will take it before the grand jury, and we will keep you guys updated on that. Right now, I think one of the saddest things is to think about the family members who have lost these children and their loved ones, and just keep them in our thoughts and prayers. Let's see. Michelle Scarborough, I do see your comment here, and you know what? We will look into that. I will reach out to the team over at WTOK and Meridian, let them know about this and see if they've heard anything, and if there's anything that we can update you with. That is confirmation of that. But I do appreciate you you leaving that comment there and letting me know what your thoughts are, and possibly giving us some information that we can follow up on. Now, well, let's move to something that's still not great, but maybe not as sad as the cases that we have talked about so far. The Mississippi Department, our state health department, released a statement today saying that the first human case of West Nile virus for this year has been reported in Rankin County. So you guys are probably all familiar with how it is transmitted through infected mosquitoes. And according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, most people infected with West Nile do not develop any symptoms. About 1 in 5 people who are infected develop a fever or other symptoms such as a headache, body aches, joint pains, vomiting, diarrhea, or rash. And of course, summertime is the prime time for mosquitoes here in the South. And this is when they are out in great abundance and have most potential to spread illness like the West Nile virus. So you're recommended to keep inside during the peak mosquito feasting times, if you will, and also to make sure to remember to wear protective clothing or a repellent that will keep those insects and mosquitoes away from you, so this doesn't happen for you. So we talked yesterday. Actually, what we're going to do before we go into talking about the closing of a Cock of the Walk restaurant over on the Res, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to have Peyton Garrison come in to talk about the first day of summer, which is today, and some other things that are happening in our forecast. So we will be right back. You guys don't go anywhere. 30 seconds, I promise.
It's breaking news leader. First Alert weather coverage means that we alert you at the first sign of dangerous weather, with more weather forecasters than any other station, more weather tools than any other station, and the only station in the country with mobile weather radar technology that allows us to catch weather threats that the National Weather Service radar can't reach. Sunrise to sunset, 7 days a week. We are WLBT, 3 on your side, and Mississippi's most trusted First Alert weather team. WLBT is Mississippi's most trusted station during severe weather.
And we are back. 30 seconds, like I promised. We have Peyton Garrison here with us to talk about our forecast and what we are, or what we can expect on the first day of summer, which technically happens in a little over 2 hours, right?
Yeah, if we want to be technical, it's 3:51 when summer officially begins. But at this point, it's been summer for the past several weeks now.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. And it's only going to get more summery outside as we go on.
Yeah, it's hard to think, today's the first day of summer. That means we have a long, hot summer ahead of us. We still have quite a ways to go. I put together a funny graphic. We have 94 days until fall. So something to look forward to. But today is the first day of summer. Not so bad. We've got lots of sunshine around. Not feeling too terribly hot. Temperatures will eventually top out near normal in the low 90s. We're still in the 80s right now, 89 in Jackson, 87 in Forest. So, not too terribly bad for the first day of summer, but we do have hotter days ahead of us, including for this weekend. We're talking middle, maybe even upper 90s in some locations. So, we're only going to go up from here.
and normally you say there's only up from here. That's a
Mhm.
great thing, but not
Yeah.
necessarily now.
Yeah, and with the heat and also the humidity as well, that's also going to be rising over the days ahead. So when you put together the heat and humidity, it can create almost a dangerous combination. So looking at your feels like forecast, that will also be trending upwards. So we're looking at about a 3-day time frame between Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week, where there will be that dangerous combination of heat and humidity. Feels like temperatures will be back in the triple digits, maybe as high as 105, 110 degrees. So we're not just talking about heat in general, but maybe dangerous heat by early next week. So if you're one that has outdoor plans, maybe you work outside in general, take those frequent breaks, drink plenty of hydrating fluids, because this could be serious if you're not using extra caution.
That's true. I always think about people who work outside in the
I
summertime
know, yeah.
or work on top of roofs in the summertime.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't know how they do it.
Yeah,
I don't know how they do
absolutely.
it.
They don't always have access to take those frequent breaks, and indoors where there's nice air conditioning. But, you want to do your best that you can do. Maybe you take a break inside the car, blast the AC for a couple of minutes, and just try to take a break because, again, the heat really is going to crank up here soon.
And what are we looking at next week outside of the heat? Are we expecting any rain chances?
Yeah, so good news, we have some rain. Hopefully that can knock back the heat a little bit, especially a couple of those days where we are looking at some pretty hot temperatures. When we get some showers around, it does cool things off briefly for parts of the area this weekend. I don't expect much in the way of rain. Good news, if you have plans hanging out by the pool, by next week where we do expect more moisture around, there will be a better chance of rain, especially come Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. So that's good news. If you're looking for some rain, we have some on the way. We don't want to get into a period where we're not seeing enough rain, similar to what we saw last summer. So we're looking in pretty good track right now, despite how hot it's going to be.
Well, if we need the rain, we get the rain. It's good. It cool us off, and
Yes.
Maybe help keep those temperatures down. Now, I don't know if you have any information today for it, but there is a little tropical storm kicking up out there, right?
Yes. So I don't have something to show on it right now, but we have Alberto, which was a tropical storm. It made landfall early this morning in Mexico. It is now a tropical depression. So now that it's not over those warm Gulf waters and it's moving farther inland, it's going to weaken from here and probably fizzling out by around this time tomorrow. So that's good news. We are watching 2 other areas, one in the Gulf, one in the Atlantic. They both have medium chances for development. It doesn't look like either one of them will be directly impacting our forecast, but it's something to watch over time. We're talking about something that hasn't even developed, so we can't really tell you specifics on this is where it is, this is where it's going to be tracking, but it is something to watch, especially that one that could be in the southwestern Gulf by sometime next week.
Well, and the best way to get the information, of course, is to download the First Alert weather app. The QR code is there on your screen, so you guys can scan it to get the direct link to our weather app. And these guys are going to keep you updated on tropical weather or any other kind of weather that we have coming our way. Peyton, thank you so much for coming in. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking more about the temporary closing of Cock of the Walk. We'll be right back.
The WLBT First Alert Storm Tracker is your live look at weather conditions from a ground level view. First alerting you about severe weather like no one else and covering weather threats from every angle.
Let's go street level down, pretty close to where the circulation is. We'll get right in front of it.
Informing you first with minute-by-minute updates. We are your WLBT First Alert weather team, 3 on your side, and Mississippi's most trusted station during severe weather. Sponsored by Environment Masters.
And I am back. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. Again, my name is Kara Shirley, and I am your digital news desk host here for WLBT Plus. If you're watching me on the app or their website, WLBT.com, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching me on Facebook or on YouTube, I appreciate you guys tuning in as well. I know this seems kind of different from what you're used to seeing as far as a newscast, and it's kind of more of a interactive newscast. I appreciate you guys leaving your comments, and if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to chime in either in the comments on Facebook or the comments on YouTube. I appreciate hearing from you guys. I prefer you be nice, but it's a free country. You say what you want to say. But I do thank you for joining me today. So you may have seen the viral video that was shared. It's been shared on Facebook. It's been shared on TikTok. I'm sure it's been shared on Instagram. However, I'm not a big Instagram user, so I haven't seen it there. But it is of what appears to be showing mice and what we are being told was the restaurant's kitchen, Cock of the Walk in Ridgeland. You're probably familiar with it on the res. And that video, it caused quite a stir on social media. It also garnered or got a lot of people calling the Mississippi State Health Department with several complaints, which then prompted inspectors with the health department to go out and inspect and take a look at Cock of the Walk. So following the inspection, they received a C grade, which the C grade is a failing grade according to the state health department. So let me get this fixed for you guys so it doesn't mess up. All right. So what happened with this, which is a good thing, the owner did volunteer to close the restaurant to begin cleaning and addressing the health issues. We did speak with someone from the health department, and they detail all of the violations that were found during the inspection.
Our inspector noticed droppings from insects, rodents, all over the dry food area. There was not proper containers, lids being used on a lot of the food there that weren't evident. They found a broken pipe with water coming out of it, which was wastewater or sewer. They're not sure exactly what, but it was on the floor there in the restaurant. And, just a number of other little safety violations.
Now you can see the inspection and the grades and all of the things that were failed. You can either go to the health department website or I believe what's up on our website as well. Now they do have until June 28th to get back into compliance. And they say that once they have addressed the issues that caused them to get that failing grade with the health department will come back out and do another inspection on the restaurant. And that will then determine if the restaurant can reopen. Of course, we don't have the video that was showed, because we don't own it. So, but it was a rather, it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. But, I think one thing that is good about this coming out, is it kind of shows the power of not only social media, but it also shows the power of when people come together. Like several complaints were made to the health department there. It shows the power of the people coming together, making the complaints, people working together, and the quickness that the health department responded to this situation. So whereas it may have been a very negative video, it kind of shows what happens when people can work together. So if you look at it, try and look at it from that side of the coin, try to find the silver lining there, then it's good. So we're going to continue to watch this and follow this story. We're going to, we've seen several rumors out there on social media as to why the videos were taken or why they were shared or even why it was waited until, something happened and for them to be shared and not having notified the health department sooner. We're going to try and get some of those answers for you. We are looking into it, but we will continue to follow this and let you know. Did you guys see the video? Y'all that are watching on Facebook right now or on YouTube, have you seen the video? What are your thoughts on it? Is this a restaurant that you frequent? I've only been there once. So of course I've only been living here since March. But I've only been there once. I also didn't realize that there was more than one location. That was something I learned when this all came out. They have a location in Nashville and then one over in Pocahontas. Of course, the only one that I've gone to was the one that was there in Ridgeland. Like I said, they have until June 28th, which is a little less than 10 days now to get all of these issues fixed, rectified, and have the health department come out and reinspect And hopefully they are able to get a passing grade and reopen, if nothing else, for the sake of the employees there that depend on that place as their livelihood. So for the sake of the employees, I hope that it all works out very well. But that is what is happening there with the Cock of the Walk here in Ridgeland. We're going to talk about now something that has happened with the Jackson City Council, and they have overridden the mayor's veto on an ordinance that could keep the police chief, fire chiefs, and assistant police chiefs from being fired during an election year. So, when a new mayor comes in, that mayor has the ability to appoint a new chief of police, a new fire chief, heads of their, not heads of state. The correct terminology is leaving my brain, and I apologize for that. But they can come in and basically put in a whole new staff. Well, this motion that was put forward to the council by Ward 3 Councilman Kenneth Stokes said that an employment agreements are needed to protect all of the at-will employees during the election year. And he said that they also need to untie the hands of the appointed officials. And basically, it's just saying if someone is in service, police chief, for instance, that they cannot be fired for no reason, even if it's just a no reason, like, well, a new mayor is in place and he wants to have a new staff. With these employees being at-will employees, that is not really fair to them for them to lose their job just because the new mayor, whoever it may be, wants to change. So Councilman Kenneth Stokes says that we just need to get out of their way and let them do their job, and giving the chief a contract and the assistant chief a contract, that's a step in the right direction. To give the fire chief a contract, it's the right thing to do. Now, when this was originally put before the council, it was voted on, and then the mayor, he vetoed the council's vote. Well, the council came back and reconvened and talked about it. And they then have the power to override the mayor's veto. And that is exactly what they did. Of course, the original measure passed on May 21st, and they needed 5 votes to override the veto. They got those 5 votes. And what this does is it directs the mayor to enter into employment agreements with the chiefs and assistant chiefs once they are confirmed. It's going to outline their respective roles, responsibilities, compensation, benefits, and other items that the council deems necessary. And that is all according to city documents that we looked over. So in the June 3rd veto message that Mayor LaBamba said, he said requiring such agreements, quote, violates the separation of powers within the city council form of government. He also argued that the order could or would infringe on the mayor's authority to appoint and terminate these positions at his will and pleasure. But Councilman Stokes said that they are not trying to usurp the mayor's power. They're not trying to do anything wrong to the mayor. They're just trying to protect employees that are in critical roles from getting fired just because a new person comes into power. So that's what is happening. He says you don't want to get into an election cycle and say, let's do a contract, because people are going to be campaigning on crime and fires and those kinds of things. This was Councilman Stokes said this. He says, let's get that out of the equation. Let's make sure that first responders are not going to be a part of the political landscape. So we will see how this goes. We will continue to watch it and see what happens. But the council did veto, or override rather, the mayor's veto in this. Also, the city council approved a task force that's going to be looking into new ways to deal with several of the abandoned properties that are here in the Jackson area. Let me get this pulled up for you guys. All right. So the task force comes after a unanimous vote from the council, with all of the members praising the efforts to fix a problem that has apparently plagued Jackson for many years. Currently, there are, get this number, 2,431 tax forfeited abandoned properties in the city. That is an outrageous number. That is crazy. Over almost 2,500 abandoned properties. So the task force is going to collect data on these properties. They're going to come up with solutions for them, and then they will present the solutions, their hopeful solutions, to the city council for a decision. One council member believes that the change was needed when dealing with these properties.
This is really, at the heart, public safety is critical to getting our arms around this situation, and to come up with some really big solutions to this rather than trying to do it one property at a time like we do the normal process. So that's the purpose of the task force.
So the next steps are to fill spots on the task force. Plans are to allow anyone that can bring change, with talks of even including members at a federal level. So we're going to follow this. We're going to let you know who makes it to the task force, and if the task force is actually able to get something done with these almost 2,500 abandoned properties here in the city of Jackson. We'll let you know about it. How many of you guys have a blackout tag on your vehicle? You know, the blackout tag, they're black with the white writing. They look really nice. I mean, they're really cool looking when you look at them on a vehicle. This is what it looks like right here. It was put in place in 2022. And a lot of people didn't know that this blackout tag, the money from the blackout tag, it goes into a fund to help first responders and their families. So each time a blackout tag is purchased, a customer pays an extra fee of about $40. And then what happens is that fee goes into a death fund for families who lost a loved one in the line of duty. And now, after just 2 years of that blackout tag being made available to people, the fund now has more than $7 million. And the legislator hopes to be able to use some of that money also for grants for police and fire departments throughout the state. We have sister station WTOK spoke with Billy Calvert and about the blackout tags.
This is a death benefit. When we first started the program 2 years ago, we started at $100,000. This year we upped it. So the base amount is $150,000, and each kid can get up to $25,000 capped at 4 children. And so the total death benefit is $250,000 for a fallen officer or a fallen fireman.
And I love that. I think that is awesome. Of course, again, like we said, they have $7 million in that fund right now, and hoping to use the money for grants for the police department. Brenda here on Facebook says that she didn't know that. You didn't know that it went for the families, and a lot of people didn't know that. And especially when we look at our Facebook post where we posted the story on yesterday, a lot of people commenting that they didn't know that the blackout tag was to help fallen officers, the families of fallen officers or fallen firefighters, those who die at the line of duty. So I think it's a great thing. I like the way the tags look. I mean, they look really cool, but when you know the story behind them, it kind of makes it, for some people at least, makes it feel a little more special, a little nicer, however you want to say it. So I know when I'll be getting my next vehicle, I will definitely have one of the blackout tags because I just think they look really cool. That's like one of the least important reasons to get one, but that is, that's one thing I really like about them, like the way they look. So we don't want to talk about this because, of course, we are the first day of summer here. First day of summer right now. Actually, technically, it happens in about 2 hours is when the technical first day of summer starts at 3:51. But we are going to let you know about the Mississippi School Supply Sales Tax Holiday. If you are a parent with children that go to school here in Mississippi, or even just a parent with kids. Well, if you're a parent, you're going to have kids, right? But if you have children or the need to purchase things for your kids, a lot of people will wait until that sales tax holiday to do that. Well, this year it's going to be a little earlier than what a lot of people are used to. So the sales tax holiday is going to happen from July 12th, which is a Friday, to Sunday, July the 14th. A new Senate bill extended it to a third day. It used to only go for 2 days. Well, now it goes for 3 days. And you don't have to pay sales tax on the school supplies, individual items of clothing, and shoes if the individual item, costs less than $100. The bill author, Senator Walter Michel, says the lawmakers made the change since many school districts have switched to a modified calendar. So they made it where it happens earlier because of the modified calendar for a lot of school districts. If you're not familiar with the modified calendar, it's where basically after the semester, the kids get an extended time off, 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the school district and what they put into place. But the kids kind of go to school, quote unquote, all year long with the modified calendar. And instead of taking one huge long break in the summer, like a lot of us are used to, they take smaller breaks that equal the same amount of time, just spread out over the year. So that's what the modified calendar is. And because of that, they are putting this into place early. So Jas Clark here says that you pray the schools send out the list early. That is a really good point. Yeah, that hopefully they will ensure that the school supply lists get put out soon. I am going to have to look into how to enroll my kids in school here in Rankin County. What I need to do, get all that fun info on switching kids from one county to another. And I will definitely be participating in the sales tax-free weekend. So again, that's happening July the 12th to Sunday, July the 14th. Well, before we go, let's take a look outside real quick so you can just see what it's looking like. Beautiful weather happening, but we're going to look over Forest right now. You can see those beautiful blue skies, nice puffy white clouds, lots of sun. Not quite as hot right now as it's going to be over the weekend, but it's still pretty warm out. So if you're not used to being out in the sun, make sure if you get outside that you drink plenty of fluids and stay hydrated. Jas Clark, thank you for commenting. And she says, thanks for the information. You're welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in here for WLBT Plus. I will be back tomorrow at 1:00. That is the end of the show for today. I hope that you guys have a great day. Tomorrow is Friday. Yay. Let's celebrate. But I will be back tomorrow at 1:00. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you tune into our newscast tonight, especially our 6:00 newscast, because Howard Ballou has a special program that he is doing tonight. It's called The Cycle of Violence, and it's about a lot of the crimes that are happening here in our area that are involving teenagers. And so tune into that tonight. Howard's going to be on here with me tomorrow to talk about that and talk about kind of a behind the investigation of his stories and what all information he found. And make sure you tune into that tonight at 6. You guys have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.